Fish.
There you go.
Oh, yeah, nice one.
Nice one, John.
Well, that was right on the bluff bank. Yep. I mean, first red-eye shad fish for John Bergsma. Mark Copley told me these things catch fish. Scott proved it to me, and this is a better fish.
Here he comes. Oh, yeah, nice fish.
Yeah, that's a good one. He hit me right away. There's a better fish.
Yeah, it is. How dark he is.
Yeah. See that? Beautiful.
Fish double.
Fish double. Well, we'll watch Mark catch his. I mean, Mark, I'm thinking Copley. Yours is a good one, too.
Yeah, mine hit as soon as it hit the water. I
Yeah, mine did, too, right up on there. Cool. Oh, yeah. There we go. Tell you what, there's a double of nice ones. I'll watch how you take these off. I don't want to do it wrong. Okay, so you're grabbing the back of the fish.
Yep, just.
I gotcha. Latching onto them good. That's the one thing with crankbaits. You got to be a little careful, don't you, Scotty?
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to get a pliers, I think.
Not a bad double, boy. Dead River Storage Basin, Marquette County.
Smallmouth heaven. Let's keep working it.
Fish.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me get a selfish cast right in here.
Oh, absolutely. Right up on the point.
Yeah, he was. Oh, that's a better fish.
Yep.
Yeah. See if we can double up.
Again on that red eye.
Tell you what, I might have to put one on. That's 3 you've caught on that. The swim bait. What is it about that crank? What is it about that crank that makes it so? They just hit it.
I think it just makes them really mad. I mean, you hear that. You know, the rattle in there just draws them from a long way. And these, you know, like we said, we saw the fish are suspended, so. See those fish? You get them back. Another one. Another fish. Yeah.
Go to coast. Well, maybe this little cove has got some better fish in it. There's definitely a better fish there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There's one. Jeez whiz. Like you say, when they get on that crankbait bite, they want that crankbait. Okay, well, you deal with the chase. I'm going to go get me a red eye.
Now that one bit a little bit different. I was actually ripping that one. I was just letting it fall. It was fluttering down. He hit it just like a tube jig bite. So. There you go, Mike.
The Fisherman's Digest is brought to you by Crestliner, forged with strength, defined by durability. Mercury Marine, go boldly. and MotorGuide.
Yeah, he took a good jump.
I'm going to go in there with the top water right behind you. Simply because that little waterfall is going to have to fish.
Here comes again.
It's a nice fish, guys. Now, I think there's a fallacy going, is that people think that red eye has to be fished in deeper water. You are right up on it.
Oh yeah, and that's the nice thing, is you can fish these things from 2 feet of water all the way up to 20 or 30 feet of water. You know, they're such a versatile bait. Cute little fat boy. They've been eating healthy fish.
What's the forage base here, Scott?
Really, crayfish and bugs. I mean, there are a lot of bugs. These fish, there's so many rivers and streams that come in that they're very, very healthy. There you go, John. That's probably one that we saw bouncing around the top up there.
Exactly. All right. John's first spinnerbait smallie of his life.
First time for everything.
Yeah, exactly. Wasn't hooked super well, and he's not huge.
There's a double.
There's a double. There we go. Scotty's looks bigger.
I don't know if he's any bigger.
Wow. But yeah, I do. I think he's bigger. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. All right. We broke the ice.
Finally broke the ice.
That's a keeper.
Yeah.
Swim jig. And you know, we see him splashing around, Scott.
Yeah,
I think what we have to do is just get below the surface.
Yep. Just keep it real close to the top. So I was just swimming a Rage Menace grub, so.
Hey, he took it good.
Yeah, cute little fish. Let's get him back and start over. It's a big one.
It's a nice pike. Wow. You have a yumping pike. That's a good one. It's a nice fish.
Not a bad Marquette County pike right there.
That's a nice one.
There we go.
It's one of the bonuses of the Dead River Basin.
Absolutely. Let's get it back.
Hey sportsmen, on this week's Merc System Fishing, let's take a couple of quick looks at some of the cool features on Vessel View Mobile. Now this is a very cool piece of diagnostic equipment that you add to your engine to help communicate with you via your iPhone to give you all the valuable information that you need to be more effective, efficient, and to save you dollars. Let's go through just some of the basic features that I'm most excited about with Vessel View Mobile. You hit this little X and a whole drop down occurs. It shows you marinas, gas, food, bait stores. Wouldn't it be cool to know? Boom, right like that. It shows me all the bait stores right in town. Pull bait stores off, go to gas. Let's say you're on the Great Lakes, you're low on gas and you need gas. Vessel View Mobile will tell you where all of the on-water gas, the marinas are that serve gas. Let's say you want to grab a quick bite of lunch. Right here you go, fork and knife. Shows you all of the on-the-water options for food. Vessel View Mobile has a lot of practical applications that are really cool and making boating just a lot more fun and enjoyable. Now, how is Vessel View Mobile able to help us in a practical sense? You know, a lot of us are do-it-yourselfers, and we want to save money in that regard, but we don't necessarily always know, based on the technology of these new engines, whether we're doing it correctly or not. Vessel View Mobile will give us valuable checklists to help us out. So one of my favorite things that people like to do is they like to winterize their own boat. Well, here you go. Right under the main menu, we touch the check, which is for checklists, pre-departure, equipment, winterization. So we touch winterization, and it takes us through an entire list of things that we need to do. Now, one of the things that I found very fun was I actually learned about some of the things that are do's and don'ts of winterizing a boat. One of them here, I'll read, is to completely fill your fuel tanks. Now that's something that I've heard my friends actually do incorrectly. They run it right down to the nub, then they pour some fluid in there to help stabilize what gas is left, and they think that's winterizing their boat. That's actually completely incorrect. You need to fill the tank completely up. Why? Because condensation, those droplets of water, form on the insides of an empty gas tank. And so we want the tank completely full. So the winterizing checklist will actually help you do it correctly. So as you can see, Vessel View has tons of different features. Vessel View Mobile is not just a convenience, it's a necessity.
The Fisherman's Digest is brought to you by Strike King Lures, tie one on. Lose, feel the difference. And Wave Pro, best ride on the water.
Red Eye Palooza.
That's a nice one.
Look at them throw. Boy, are they throwing the crayfish up?
That means they're just into the crayfish.
Yeah, they're just gorging. Fish. John's got a double. Look at that.
Right in that same cast spot. Yep. There are some fish in there. Let's go to neutral.
That's 3 fish and 3 casts.
Exactly. Think there's some fish here?
I think so. Get there for you, sir.
Thank you. I'll relieve some pressure.
There we go.
Couple of little fun guys.
Yeah, there's lots of these up here, that's for sure.
And that's what I love about this spot, is that what you're showing me here is just action, like you said, for kids. Oh, if you wanted to teach a kid how to bass fish, you know, you could just do a great job of just letting them encounter a bite.
Oh, and that's the nice thing about the red-eye shad, too, is it's such an easy bait to fish. You just throw it out and reel it in, really.
Well, listen, I can use it. That tells you anything. If I can use it and not screw it up. Nice one.
I don't think so.
Huh?
I don't think so.
Good. Let me get up there.
Oh, look at the 2 with him. He had 2 with him. There's one right below him.
No, but I can't get it.
They're eating all the crayfish coming out of his face.
I'll go back and I'll throw my whack.
There we go. Nice fish. There you go.
Hey everybody, welcome to today's tackle box. And Scott, today we used the whole darn tackle box.
We sure did. I mean, we caught fish doing most everything today. We caught fish up on top, down below. I mean, we're using swim baits, red-eye shads, Strike King Scorcher spinnerbaits. We caught a lot of the nice fish on the Scorcher spinnerbait. Towards the end of the evening, we were catching fish on tubes, swim jigs. You were catching some fish on top, especially in the shadows this afternoon.
Exactly. The dark, non-sunny side of the reservoir today, the KVD splashed did a really good job. And at the end, like Scotty said, he pitched that tube in under a couple of docks late afternoon. You know, I think once the sun hits those docks and it's with them all day long, it kind of draws some fish in.
Yeah, especially because there's not a lot of weeds out here, not a lot of offshore cover, so the fish were just getting out of the sun, getting out of that real bright sun and getting around those docks or some of those pontoon boats.
So I guess the lesson learned here today is when you get on the water, don't go out there with just a single preconceived idea of what you're going to do, correct?
Right, because we wanted to do a topwater show today, but obviously we figured out, hey, it's not really working that great. I mean, we catch a few fish, but we had to be very versatile and keep changing it up.
We did. If we would have stayed with the same baits all day, you'd have seen a quarter of the show, literally, because it seemed like every 5-minute segment it was a different pair of producing baits.
Oh, absolutely. Either on top or on the bottom or even in the mid. So we had fish biting all 3 different stages.
Talk about the rods we used today. Lewis Custom Speed Sticks. I used a Mock Crush reel. I know that you were pitching a bait caster, weren't you?
Yeah, I had a Crush 2 reel and a power rod rod.
Exactly. You know, you don't need 100 rods to do what we do. You know, fishing this presentation, you can actually probably fish this adequately with 3 rods each, you know, just rigged with 3 different methods and presentations. And rather than constantly tying off, you suggest that, don't you? Just having rods laying there.
Oh, yeah. You see a lot of times I'll have 10, 15 rods on my deck, but really I'm only throwing 2 or 3 rods. I'm throwing something that's up on top, something mid-range in the water column, and something on the bottom.
Exactly.
Yep.
Well, that's today's Tackle Box, brought to you, you know, by today Strike King and Lose, because that's what we used all day long, and they put all the fish in the boat, and when I've got them on, I've got a ton of confidence.
Oh, absolutely.
The Fisherman's Digest is brought to you by Offshore Tackle, leaders in trolling technology. Trax Tech, the ultimate fishing system. And GARMIN.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice jump.
Oh, yeah. Look at that. If I don't hook him twice again. Another nice little fish. Perfect. Oh, he was swimming all over.
Oh,
nice
there's a biggie.
fish. I'm getting the net. I'm getting the net. Oh, Scotty, keep him on. Show that off. Hey, take a minute and tell them how you've been catching these fish.
Well, this one just happens to be on a tube. I just picked up a tube and threw it up.
And he swam like a mile with it.
Yeah, he came right to the boat with it. Just a beautiful Dead River storage basin smallmouth. Good shape fish. Beautiful.
Well, today we have a really special recipe that Grant's cooked up for us. You know, we do a lot of bass fishing on this show. Bass are fish that we really just simply not only catch and release ourselves, but we encourage everybody to catch them and release them. They're more of a game fish that's a resource that's really hard to recover once you decimate the populations. So whenever we do that, Grant cooks up a really unusual recipe that has nothing to do with what we caught that day, but still has a little bit of a seafood flair. So Grant, what do you have for us today?
All right, we're going to do a seafood scampi, and it's super easy, and it's a good appetizer or main course if you pair stuff with it. So whatever you're doing.
I see lobster.
Yeah, we got a lobster tail, and a lot of people are afraid to buy these because they don't know how to get the meat out of the shell. Well, this is how it's done. You take your lobster and your scissors, just cut right up the back, all the way through, and you take it, and you just peel it open.
Oh, that's super simple.
And some of them are easier than others.
And you could probably put a napkin or a cloth on there to help if you're afraid to hurt yourself, right?
And like I said, some of them will be easy and some of them won't be. We got our scallops. We got our shrimp.
This sounds like an expensive restaurant, not my kitchen.
Right? And all you do is cut your lobster into thirds and just kind of decorate, use whatever. And then I'm going to have you heat up that butter for me for us to drizzle over top.
Okay, well you do some spicing.
Yep, these pepperoncinis and tomato, it's just going to put a little extra element of flavor in there. And then once you have this, he's going to bring me the butter back. Well, it's garlic salt, butter, and basil all chopped up.
That sounds good.
And it's fresh basil. I happen to...
And we do use real butter. We're not at all margarine people. I don't even know if we have ever had margarine in the house. Mom doesn't buy margarine.
That'll kill you.
Yes, exactly. So you're going to drizzle that right over the top. I got it. So that gives you the cooking element and the spice.
Right.
all
this
at
will
once.
keep it from burning and sticking to the bowl. And then you just take your Parmesan, and then we're going to get 2 more of these ready and toss them in and go to town.
Wow.
All right, and that's
Into the broiler?
That's all we wrote, yeah.
Beautiful.
Are they going in?
Here you go. Needless to say, this is one recipe where I almost can't wait for Grant to get the stuff onto the plate so I can eat it. This is our catch and release special. Grant, what do we have?
We have scallops, shrimp, and lobster in a garlic butter with basil, covered in Parmesan cheese, served with garlic bread, and then a little bit of red skin potato just for some extra filling stuff.
I don't know that we'll need it, but
all right, and we got the red skin potatoes. All that little extra butter, garlic butter on the plate, you can chop up your potatoes and mix that in with the potatoes, and there's your butter.
this looks like a fantastic recipe, perfect for catch and release. Thanks, Grant. Beautiful. Well, thanks for joining us today in the kitchen. Thanks, Grant.
Anytime.
Closed captioning brought to you by Wave Pro. Best ride on the water online at waveproshock.com.